Because of the generosity of two members of the comic book community, Brandon from Mon Comics and Mr. Akins of What's on the Comic Rack, a whole load of unsuspecting new viewers has been ushered in to this channel. So, welcome to the Cabbage Patch, nerds. Let's have a baptism by fire. Hey there, way too early in the video, Editor Hagen here. I forgot to mention a couple things. One, this is comic book opinions that my wife doesn't care to hear me talk about anymore. And two, stick around to the end of the video, I have a giveaway announcement. Okay, thanks, love you, bye. There's nothing more dangerous than sharing your opinion on the internet. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Number one, 80% of people choose their favorite comic book characters for the same reason. As human beings, we're designed to have favorite things. If you like a group of things, you have a favorite of that thing. This goes for sports, it goes for fashion, it goes for anything that you can think of. We have to have favorites because we have to prove that the thing that we like is better than the thing that you like. With comic book characters, I think that most people choose them the same way. Most of our hard opinions, whether we like it or not, are formed when we're kids, when those thoughts get underneath that closing garage door of our fragile little psyches. And kids don't have sophisticated opinions of things. Kids don't think about the artistry of something. They don't think about the writing of something. Those things may subconsciously trigger reactions in children, but that's not the primary focus when they're searching those things out. The primary focus is, wow, this is really cool. And it doesn't really go a lot deeper than that. If you have a favorite character, that character is likely one that you were introduced to as a kid somehow. And then all the reasons why you like that character that are any deeper than, I think he's really cool, are all justifications that you've made up later. The thing that comic book fans don't really want to admit to themselves is that a lot of these characters fall into the same archetypes, which means that the justifications for liking a character like Spider-Man can be the exact same justifications for liking a character like Nightwing. They're completely different characters, but they fall within a certain type. And the reasons why we like them are all fairly similar. The reasons why I like my favorite character have gotten deeper over the years, but they started off with, this is a cool looking dude, and he's basically Barry Bonds with a Frisbee. It didn't go a whole lot deeper than that. Which is why I really hate gatekeepers that come down on specifically new comic book collectors, where liking something just because they think it's cool isn't a good enough reason. You have to have sophisticated reasons. You have to know all their albums. I don't like that at all. If your love for a character is very surface level, but that's your favorite character, that's totally fine. If it deepens over time, great. If it doesn't, and you just get stuck in this sort of cycle of, I think this character's bitchin', then, great. I don't really have a point for this. It's just something that I've thought about for a long time. Number two, we misuse the word grail in the comic book community frequently. In my opinion, you only have one comic book grail. The Holy Grail in literature is, the cup that caught the blood of Christ. There's not 10 of them. There is one. So your grail is determined by your favorite comic book character or team. If your favorite team is the X-Men, your grail is X-Men 1. It's not giant size X-Men. It's not X-Men 94. It's not any of those. Your grail is number 1. If your favorite comic book character is Superman, your grail is Action Comics number 1. It's not even Superman 1. It's not the death of Superman. It's not anything except for Action Comics number 1. Now, I know that places a lot of grails out of reach. Believe me, I know. I'm never owning a Captain America #1. I wouldn't, even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy it. I would feel wretched if I knew that I had $1 million comic book while someone a mile away from me can't afford to eat. But the Holy Grail is supposed to be unattainable. It's supposed to be extremely rare. People who say that their Grail is a 1 in 50 variant that came out a couple years ago, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Obviously, it's your life, it's your collecting goals. You're allowed to say whatever you want. I just think that term is being misused just a smidge. Number 3, Green Lantern has the most comic book accurate superpower ever, and it's not a contest. I want you to keep in mind that this is coming from a non-DC fan and non-DC reader, so if I get the minutia of the character Green Lantern wrong, please forgive me. You can classify Green Lantern however you want to, but to someone on the outside looking in, Green Lantern is powered by that dog in him. He gets stronger or weaker depending on that dog in him. And that is every superhero ever. We've all seen superheroes find their limit and break through it, often to ridiculous extents. I don't think that exists for Green Lantern. He has one limiting factor, and it's writing. It's the battery in his ring, but it's writing. If the writers need him to be depowered for a little bit, oops, his ring's out of juice, he has to go charge it up. And if they don't want him to be, if they need him to be a tank for years and years and years, they just don't mention the whole ring charging thing. That makes a ton more sense than, for instance, saying that Captain America has peak human ability, but then he can pull helicopters out of the sky and stop trucks. That's not peak human, that's superhuman, but, you know, just because he wants it that little bit more, he's able to do it. No. There are physical limits to things, unless your powers write your way out of them. Green Lantern's powers do. Green Lantern's powers allow him to push back any limit that you thought might have been there because he just wants it. He wants it so bad, so he makes it happen. And that is every superpower distilled down into a concept perfectly. Number 4, I don't understand the rivalry that Marvel fans and DC fans have. Now, of course, I'm saying this as a predominantly Marvel reader. I used to pick up only Marvel books when I was a kid, mainly because I liked the covers, and also because, like I said earlier, Captain America just sort of slid on into my childhood psyche and just lived there. And I couldn't take the different styles of covers that Marvel and DC had, so I guess little kid me just dedicated that short box that I had to being all Marvel comic books. That being said, I'm not opposed to buying or reading DC books, especially now that I've started to get to know the characters and the universes a little bit more. I find that I can get different things from different universes. So why then do Marvel fans love it when Batman vs. Superman is hot trash? And likewise, why do DC fans love it when Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness isn't as good as everybody wants it to be? I happen to think that it was pretty bad. I get it, it's Sam Raimi, he's weird. I don't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. As a comic book fan, I want to see a good Justice League movie. I want to see a good Superman and Batman movie. I want to see these things. The fact that I prefer Marvel to DC doesn't mean that I want DC to do badly. There are objectively cool things about DC, just like there are objectively horrible things about Marvel. I find that when we pick our favorites, we lash our entire identity to that, and anybody who's a fan of the thing that is in opposition to us, it feels like a threat to some people. It feels like a condemnation of your personality to some people who love the Hulk and then hear that Incredible Hulk or Ang Lee's Hulk was really, really bad. Just like people get upset if their favorite character is Batman and you tell them that the Batman that they saw in Batman vs. Superman isn't really a good Batman. He had about 45 cool seconds that were ruined right at the very end with a stupid character choice. But you tell them that, and that's your opinion. And your opinion can sometimes feel like a condemnation of the very fabric of their identity. And that I don't quite understand. A rising tide lifts all ships. I want this new James Gunn DC universe to be good. I want a good Booster Gold movie. I really want a good Superman movie. Just because I'm a Marvel fan and grew up watching, the first Iron Man movie doesn't mean that I want the DC movies to fail. I don't know. I guess that's just something that I wish that I understood. What I'm about to say will invalidate everything that I've said up until this point. The last thing that I have to say is not an opinion, but it is a confession of sorts. I've been collecting since I was a little kid, but I was a hyper-focusing little kid, and so I focused on one particular character and one particular team. And so because of that, I have not read or collected most of the seminal works that people think about when they think about comic books. For instance, Sandman. Haven't read it. Swamp Thing. I've read one trade paperback of that. Frank Miller's Daredevil. Nope. Frank Miller's Batman. No. If there is a major work that you can think of, chances are I haven't read it. The reason for that isn't malicious. It's pure laziness. I am definitely the kind of person that, left to my own devices, I would sit on my couch and eat Cheez-Its until I died. I very much need an external force to push me towards new things and new experiences. I will watch the same TV show 10 times in a row before I try and watch a new one. Just something as simple as that. So dedicating the time to get into entire runs worth of comic books, even though I know how important they are, and I've seen how important they are, it's daunting. And it has been daunting, and I had no reason to push myself into that until now. So because I want to be a more informed member of the community and not give opinions on things that I don't truly know about, I'm going to start a new series on this channel. It's going to be a Reading Rainbow style series of videos where I read extremely important comic book works and I give you my review of them as somebody who's coming in fresh and brand new. The first one that I want to do is Swamp Thing. Like I said, I bought the first trade of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing at a used bookstore a little while ago, and I loved it. And that was the first thing that sort of pushed me towards this idea. So if you have any recommendations of crucial storylines or runs that you think every comic book reader and collector should know about, leave them down in the comments because I need ideas. Before I let you go, I wanted to make a quick announcement. I recently did a comic book hangout video with Ricky from All Sorts of Words and Nate of Haul Yeah Comics. Nate is a new YouTuber. He only has, I think, 4 or 5 videos out yet, but I really enjoy every single one of them. It's so interesting to see a YouTuber make their very first video and they appear to be fully formed. I'm still figuring things out. I'm still trying new things and experimenting. I'm not saying that he's not, but if Nate were to maintain the style and level of quality that his videos have right now, he would do perfectly fine. I really enjoy his channel, and as of this moment, he has 33 subscribers. He should be way higher than that. So I'm gonna take the kindness that Brandon and Mr. Aiken showed me, and I'm gonna pass it along. Just like the giveaway that benefited me so much, there is a 2-week time limit. If we as a community can get Haul Yeah Comics or Nate to 50 subscribers, I will be giving away these 2 books. One is this. This is a copy of Civil War: The Confession. This was one of my favorite comic books to read as a kid, and it remains one of my favorite comic books to read. So it's important to me, it's important to the foundation of this channel, and to whoever gets it, I hope it's important to you as well. The second book is another great book that I love to read, and it's this. This is Spider-Man's Tangled Web #4, Severance Package. If you're a fan of Spider-Man or Kingpin or just suspense, this is a great comic book to have. And finally, just like with Bond Comics and Mr. Aiken's giveaway, there's a stretch goal for this. If we can get Haul Yeah Comics to 100 subscribers, I will be adding this. This is Captain America #115 from 1969. This is my second favorite Captain America comic book cover, and I'm super happy to be able to give it to one of you. Rules for the giveaway are as follows. You have to be 18 or older to enter, and you have to live in the continental United States. I wish that I could open this up to international viewers, but I just can't afford the shipping, and I'm not about to make anybody who wins a giveaway pay for shipping. You have to be subscribed to my channel and Haul Yeah Comics channel. And finally, you have to comment #FAM, F-A-M, in the comment section of this video. This giveaway serves 3 purposes for me. It is a thank you to all of you for watching me. It's a passing on of the kindness that Brandon and Mr. Akins have shown me. And it's a huge props to a new comic book YouTuber that I think deserves a lot more attention than he's currently getting. So just to remind you, Haul Yeah Comics, 50 subscribers, you get these 2 books, The Confession and Severance Package. Haul Yeah Comics, 100 subscribers, you get all 3 of these. Everybody's channel links will be in the description below. A link to the video that I did with Haul Yeah and Ricky from All Sorts of Words will be down there as well. Please check it out. It was a ton of fun. I hope to see you guys soon, and good luck to all of you. Thank you so much.